I know that you have a lot of medicine to share, especially in reference to the transitions that people go through. You give them a very unique perspective on why this might be a transitional year, why this might be, for example, a year of endings or a year of new beginnings or a year of partnerships, etc., etc. And you give them a lot of knowledge and a unique perspective. And I know that a lot of that comes from your own experiences. If anything, I know that you experienced enormous grief when you were quite young. And I'm wondering if you're happy to share the beautiful story of you and Anthony.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I feel a little bit emotional when I'm speaking about it, but I'd be very honoured to share with you and the rest of the world. Anthony, okay, so first of all, I believe that you don't have just one soulmate in life. I think that you have friends who come into your life who are soulmates. You have animals who are soulmates, and they are the people who are life changers. They're the game changers. That when you meet with them, that you know that your life is not going to be the same afterwards, and there's not much you can do about it. So Anthony, I met him when I was 18, and I was about to travel overseas with my girlfriends and go backpacking. And he met me over in London a few months later, and we travelled around the world together. It was incredible, and we did everything together. It was an amazing relationship, which I feel so blessed to have experienced. He was a very earthy person, so my spirituality was something that he didn't quite understand about, and so he would challenge me a lot with questions about what I was doing and how does that make sense. So it's very, very good for me when I'm sometimes working with clients or with people who don't really understand about things. It's given me that different perspective that can come from people, because I'm very, very blessed to have an intellectual community of friends around me, but they're also very, very spiritual. And I tend to not really have people in my life who aren't so open. So that was something that I think he taught me while he was here.
That is incredible. That's quite possibly why you're so good at simplifying and explaining complex situations.
Could be. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, but I don't want to take away from your story.
Yeah, so basically Anthony and we came from very, very similar backgrounds. Our mothers were both counsellors and nurses, and we were both taught to work for other people and work for other people very, very hard. And that we did. But what actually happened was, our relationship became quite sort of, I guess, codependent. And
why do you think that is, my darling Tameera?
I think it just came from a childhood upbringing. Yeah.
The predisposition for codependence, you think?
Yeah, I think so, that we probably didn't know any better at the time.
How interesting.
Yeah, I have obviously, I think you can't give advice to someone. If you've not actually been through something yourself, you can read all the books in the world, but life experience, you can't. And I can recognize it. I can recognize when people are in that situation, and it helps me. It helps me help people. It's fantastic. It's not fantastic when you're going through it.
But right? You've got some serious street cred, don't you?
Street cred, So I ended up separating from Anthony, although I loved him dearly with all my heart, and he became, I think he wasn't quite the same after that, and I was quite firm that things were not as they were when we met, and this beautiful energy that we had, this beautiful soulmate connection, and I needed to do that for healthy reasons. So I ended up going back to London and received a phone call that he had actually committed suicide. So I felt I really detached within myself, because that was a coping mechanism that I had from when I was younger. I'd go very much into myself, and it didn't actually come out, I think, for probably a year after, when I was at a friend's wedding.